occupy the same number of seats in governance as men. And I said, well, actually, women don't even have children until they're 40, and then they could start being politicians, from the age of 40 to 80 or 90 or 100. And then if we just made a subtle shift where we had 70% of the seats in government occupied by older women, I think we could globally, in Iran and France and the United States. This is my fantasy. And then we just... And you know how the other funny thing is that, older women have always been in governance, advising their husbands what to do. So in a lot of ways, and I'm really not joking right now, it's like men could find, there's this wonderful opportunity for men to embrace this kind of wonderful humility and to advise their wives how to run the countries. Do you know what I mean? We could still use the advice of men, but they should be whispering in the ears of their wives. Just try it. It's just an idea. I know it sounds like a ridiculous fantasy, but it sounds like a ridiculous fantasy, but my whole idea is like, why don't we all just start talking about it? Maybe not this idea, but talk about the ideas that you care about as often and as frequently as possible, especially to the rest of your family. And maybe, I think it's a really good time to participate right now. This is how I've chosen to participate, to try to utilize all of the forums and mediums at my disposal to talk about future feminism. Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Scandinavia. Thank you, Scandinavia, for leading the way. Thank you, Scandinavia, for being on the frontier, and for creating the prototypes that in the future, hopefully the rest of the world will follow you in this dream, because you guys are the frontier of that dream. And you needed to be a relatively secular society in order to get to that place. And you guys hit it first. You're like the frontier on the planet. There's like Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. You guys are doing it right now. You don't know how important it is, not just for your country, but for the rest of the world. We need you to develop these prototypes for how to live differently in the world, especially in terms of like redefining and reorganizing the role of women in governance. Thank you, Scandinavia. So you have a big job, but you're doing it well.